Hello, friends. This is Dave and Finster, who's going to be running around playing while we're doing these things, here in the Overflow room with random reviews. And oh my goodness, we're cruising through the big names in the letter W, or at least the big names who I had in my collection. You know, these are kind of fun to do because, I mean, obviously I can't pretend to completeness, but I do have like tens of thousands of CDs we're going to pack in here, and it's going to give people in future centuries or millennia a rather interesting view of what existed back in whenever we were, 23. That's you, Finster? Okay. Anyway, if you hear meowing and stuff, that's what it is, because they like to explore down here. Well, we're on the letter W, and we're up to Kurt Weill. Oh my goodness, I've got tons of Kurt Weill. I have so much that I had to put a lot in the overflow room. I really did, because it was flowing over. So let's just go through and see some of what we have here. Well, let's start with, I don't even know where to begin. I'm just pulling stuff out at random. Oh, here's something from the EMI Matrix series. Remember that? Yes, remember the Matrix series? That was this thing, where we got Weill, Symphonies 1 and 2, the Busoni Berceuse Elegiaque, and Schoenberg's Chamber Symphony No. 2. What an interesting collection. The Weill symphonies were conducted by Gary Bertini. The Busoni Berceuse and the Schoenberg Chamber Symphony No. 2 are Frederick Prosnitz with the New Philharmonia. Bertini was with the BBC. Prosnitz was the music director for years of the Peabody Conservatory in Baltimore, I believe. Back when I was at Johns Hopkins, he was around there somewhere, I think. Was it him or Elliot Galkin? There were a couple people like that who were hovering around in Baltimore. But anyway, this was an oldie but a goodie. And, don't you hate it when it's the last disc in a row and it's just one guy? It would be so nice if I could take all the Kurt Weill stuff and put it all together, but then I would have to leave an empty space in one row, which would make my obsessive compulsive disorder go completely bonkers. So I'm not going to do it. Then we have, let's see, Kurt Weill, Berlin im Licht, Berlin lit up. This is with Ensemble Modern, with all kinds of nifty pieces. You know, Weill was such a versatile composer. He was one of the great songwriters, one of the great music theater guys of all time. And that's why his music, doesn't get the attention it deserves. It fell between the cracks. And it just pisses me off that it's falling between the cracks, but there it is. And so here we have it, and we have to deal with it. So this is going down here, at the back, on the bottom, back on the right, and we come forward. And Die Bürgschaft. This is an extra copy. I have two of them. Yeah, with Julius Rudel. This is a really cool, serious three-act opera. Die Bürgschaft, it means the sort of like the swindle, I think, or something like that. Or that's Der Kuhhandel is the swindle. The Bürgschaft, I think it's the same thing. They're all about, capitalism gone wrong or something. I don't know. I don't care. It's a great piece. Great piece. And Der Protagonist. This is with John Marcheri, and it's on Capriccio. Now, these Capriccio titles, there's an edition about which we may have more to say at some point in the future. But at the moment, these were all boxed up in slim boxes, 2 5-CD boxes, 10 CDs in all, having most of this Capriccio series. I don't know if it had all of it, but it was enough so that I could keep those in the main collection, where they took up vastly less space, and put the individual ones down here, which I hung on to because they have like librettos and things, so I kept them. Lady in the Dark, the Broadway cast recording featuring Danny Kaye, with selected songs. This was conducted by Maurice Bravanel with the Danny Kaye version. The other version, the Lady in the Dark thing. Oh, yes, there she is. Come on down, please. This is with Lisa Elliott and Reza Stevens. This is the original 1963 studio. Oh my God, how did she get up there? Well, now she's gonna have to get down. Okay. And conducted by Lehman Engel, with like famous people. Look at all these famous people. How cool. Adolph Green is in it. And oh wow, John Reardon. Boy, this is great. I haven't heard it in a long time. I really need to go listen to it. I may separate it out and go listen to it later. This is one of that Klemperer legacy things. It has the Weill Drei Groschen Musik, which he commissioned. So I put his recording in there under Weill for that reason. The Threepenny Opera. This is the, I think, Ensemble Moderne version, conducted by H.K. Gruber, a new production with Max Rabe and H.K. Gruber and Nina Hagen and other people. That's complete. Marianne Faithfull does Kurt Weill songs and the Seven Deadly Sins. She's not really the best voice for this stuff, but it was kind of cool that she did it. So I took that. And I have 400 versions of this. The Seven Deadly Sins with Gisela Mai. One of the great Weill records ever. Oh, I love her. Meine Schwester und ich stammen aus Louisiana, wo die Wasser des Mississippi und der Monde fließen. Oh, it's just incredible. Anyway, she has this sort of wrecked, wonderful, world-weary voice. Kind of sounds a little bit like... What was that? A little bit like mine. And we have also songs from the Berlin Requiem, Happy End, Mahagoni, Threepenny Opera, and the Berlin Requiem. You're stealing the show here, dear. Come on, get down. Let's go. Yoo-hoo. Of course, she's a cat. She doesn't care. Maris Janssens does Kurt Weill, Symphony No. 2, and the Violin Concerto with Frank Peter Zimmermann, and the suite from Mahagoni. This is with the Berlin Philharmonic, live. Did anybody ever care about that record? No, nobody cared. Of course not. There's nobody. They do lots of productions and no one pays any attention. Then we have Lotte. Oh, this is wonderful. Doing American theater songs and then things by Dessau and Hans Eisler and John Kander and other people, and some regular Kurt Weill stuff. And it's just tons of stuff. Sings Kurt Weill American theater songs from the Threepenny Opera Cabaret Orchestra, conducted by Maurice Levine with Louis Armstrong and Jack Gilford. Whoa, yeah, Jack Gilford. And Lost in the Stars, one of his great American productions. This is with Julius Rudel, and this was a Music Masters Classics. Remember them? I don't know what happened to that stuff. I think Nimbus actually has some of it now. I don't know if they have all of it, but they had a lot of it. And then here's the 1930 Threepenny Opera on Teldec, the recording with Lotte Lenya, and 2 songs from Mahagoni and 5 chansons with Marlene Dietrich. Oh, baby. Yay. That's exciting. And then we've got David Atherton with the Hong Kong Philharmonic doing the 2 symphonies and Bastille music. Now, this is very interesting because this is on GMN, Global Music Network. The Global Music Network, in case you missed it, was a 15-minute of fame, supposedly portal site for all things classical. They tried to make a deal with us with ClassicsToday.com. It didn't last at all. It was operated by, I think, David Atherton's brother-in-law or someone like that. And they had millions of dollars, and they were very proud of themselves, and they blew it all and tanked, and that was the end of them. They made a couple CDs with David Atherton, including the Kurt Weill symphonies. Because remember, he did that set that's on Deutsche Grammophon of Kurt Weill stuff. So there you go. Then we've got Life, Love, and Laughter, Kurt Weill dance arrangements, 1927 through 1950, with the Palast Orchestra, Max Rabe, it was Max Rabe singing, and H.K. Gruber again. And then the complete Zilbersee with Marcus Stentz. Remember him before he started doing Mahler cycles and things like that and was in Australia? So it's Marcus Stentz. There he is. It goes there. And let's see, what else have we got here? Kurt Weill, Symphonies 1 and 2, the Gewandhaus Orchestra Leipzig with Edo de Waard. The Berlin Requiem from Tot im Wald, the Violin Concerto. This is with Philippe Herweghe, that famous Kurt Weill specialist. It's not on period instruments. It's with Ensemble Musique Oblique. And the choir of the Chapelle Royale, fresh from their latest, Buxtehude thing. Here you are. Lots of fun. And then this is on Koch. This is the Recordare, the Legend of the Dead Soldier at Potsdam under the oak trees, the Berlin Requiem, and the 4 Walt Whitman songs, and Kiddush, choral music, and some other, vocal things. That's an interesting collection. Teresa Stratas, one of her 2 Kurt Weill discs, with the Wide Chamber Orchestra under Gerard Schwartz. These were totally famous because she was an amazing Kurt Weill singer. Then we have the Violin Concerto with Hindemith Septet and Ernst Toch's 5 pieces for wind and percussion with Christian Tetzlaff. And the Deutsche Kammerphilharmonie, yum, yum, yum. This wonderful Vox thing. Do you remember this? Did anyone ever see this? This has got the Threepenny Opera and the Quodlibet with the Westphalian Symphony Orchestra, Recklinghausen under Siegfried Landau, and the Rise and Fall of the City of Mahagoni with the Jerusalem Symphony under Lucas Voss. This is a suite. And the Violin Concerto with Suzanne Lautenbacher and Max von Schillings, his orchestral suite from Mona Lisa and Schrecker's The Birthday of the Infanta with the Hamburg Symphony under Arthur Gruber. Yeah, Vox was just doing it up, and no one knew about it because it's budgie, cheap people no one ever heard of, Really cool. We're just getting warmed up here. We really are. There's so much great stuff in here under Weill. Really a street scene. This is the original London cast, complete recording. Let's see who's doing this with Carl Davis of the English National Opera with Susan Bullock and Muriel Dickinson and Christine Chisinski, remember her? And let's see, Bonaventura Batone and Richard Van Allen. There's a serious cast. The 7 Deadly Sins and the Threepenny Opera Suite with Michael Tilson Thomas and Julia McGinnis Johnson. This is a good disc. Good stuff, this. It really is. Here's the first Teresa Stratas Kurt Weill disc. This is fun with all kinds of nifty things. Buddy on the Night Shift. Hello there, Buddy on the Night Shift. That was really cool. And Schicklgruber and Je ne t'aime pas and all sorts of other things. This is part of the Decca Entartete Musik series with Chantal Juillet and John Morcheri with the Berlin Radio Symphony doing the Kurt Weill Violin Concerto and the Korngold Violin Concerto and the Krennic Violin Concerto number 1. All this good stuff. See, the thing that's cool about Kurt Weill, too, is if you're dealing with his orchestral music and other things, you tend to get really cool couplings. 7 Deadly Sins, again, with 7 songs with Birgitta Fassbender and the Hanover Radio Philharmonic under Cord Garben. Lotte Lenya doing the 7 Deadly Sins, or some of it, yes, 9 songs of it, worth of it. Oh, the whole 7 Deadly Sins, what am I talking about? I was thinking of Mahagoni. The 7 Deadly Sins, and then a bunch of other songs, miscellaneous Kurt Weill songs. This is after, her soprano phase, when she was doing the lower version arranged by, what's his name, Bruckner or Rugeberg, or whatever his name is. Yes, Wilhelm Bruckner or Rugeberg, who also conducts. And then we've got some of these Capriccio things, the complete 3-act Mahagoni, the whole opera, with Annie Schlemm and Thomas Lehrberger and Klaus Hirte and Anja Cilia as Jenny. And let's see, this is under Jan Latham Koenig, who did a lot of these Kurt Weill things for Capriccio, and they're quite splendid. Street Scene from his New York period, with Josephine Barstow, Sam Raimi, Angelina Rowe, and Jerry Hadley. Ooh, with John Morcheri, the Scottish Opera Orchestra and Chorus. That's great stuff. And let's see. Wow. Threepenny Opera. Which one is this? With F. Charles Adler. Oh, this is the Vanguard one. Sung auf Deutsch. Look at that. I mean, that's the Vanguard one. And music for Johnny Johnson. This is with Joel Cohen and the Otari Pit Band. I mean, isn't it just unbelievable, all this stuff that people never heard of, don't know anything about? Speak Low, songs by Kurt Weill with Anne-Sophie von Otter and John Elliott Gardner, another famous Kurt Weill specialist. Oh, yeah. 7 Deadly Sins, Teresa Stratas and Kent Nagano. I think this is a live one. One of these things was, it's live. Recording of video sessions for the film by Peter Sellers. That's what it is. And the Second Symphony, all with Kent Nagano. You can't have too many 7 Deadly Sins. Then we've got Kurt Weill Symphony number 2, Roberto Gerhardt's Concertino for Strings, and Bertold Goldschmidt, Suite for Orchestra, Opus 5, with the Kammersymphony Berlin under Jürgen Bruns. This is on EDA? Yes, EDA, the EDA label. I don't know what that is. And it's the EDA label, that's all I know. So this stuff goes there. And they fall, they fall over when you do this. It's always so So annoying. You got to stack them up in there. Okay, so those are there. Then we have The Eternal Road highlights. This is this enormous project that's never been recorded complete. One section of it, Die Propheten, the Prophets, was just recently issued on Capriccio. I haven't heard it yet, but I will be listening to it. And if you're listening to this in 3,275, by then I will have heard it and talked about it. It's a rediscovered masterpiece. It was a sensation of 1937 New York season as a biblical pageant, music drama, and a theatrical extravaganza. It's never done complete. Someday someone's got to do it. It really would be interesting. And then we have all of the Capriccio stuff that I haven't mentioned already, including Der Kuhhandel, or Shady Dealing, The Swindle, which goes there. The Threepenny Opera with Jan Leifert Koenig, a newer, moderner version, more moderner. Seven Deadly Sins and the Mahagoni Songspiel. Who's doing this? Oh, with Doris Biret and Trude Eliza Schmidt and Gabriel Rahm and Horst Heistermann. This is with Jan Leifert Koenig. The Lindbergh Flight and the Ballad of the Magna Carta. Oh my goodness, the Lindbergh Flight is the first version, historical broadcast from Berlin 1930, conducted by Hermann Scherchen, no less. So that's kind of cool. Der Ja-Sager with Bertolt Brecht and Down in the Valley. Two completely different things. Oh, that stuff. And the Tsar has his photograph taken in Opera Buffa with Jan Leifert Koenig again, and Barry McDaniel and Carla Pohl and Thomas Lehrberger and Ulla Toka, Marita Napier, whatever. These are all Capriccio. This is a wonderful, wonderful series. Happy End. God, I love Happy End. This has some of the best songs in it. Some amazing, amazing songs with Gabriella Rahm and Walter Raffiner and Karen Plug and Stephen Kimbrough. And then finally, last but not least, another Der Silbersee, Silver Sea, A Winter's Tale. And this is a big piece. This is like a big major thing. How long is it? It's 2 CDs, 2 full CDs. And so that, my friends, is Kurt Weill. Quite a collection of Kurt Weill to overflow, because all the rest of it's upstairs, so there's plenty there too. Really an amazing composer. He's been very well served on records in some respects. Some of his pieces have yet to be completely, yes dear, have yet to be completely revealed or recorded. There's an ongoing critical edition, which is extremely important and worthy and very slowly progressing, incredibly slowly progressing. And that's it. I think you can wave goodbye too. Come here. Oh, good, run that way. You want to say goodbye? Come here, you want to say goodbye to everybody? So keep on listening, friends. Thank you so much for joining me. On behalf of Finster and myself, take care.